So let's put our hands together for Dr. Mrs. Folarin as she comes up. Let's put our hands together for her as she comes up.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I would like all of you students to congratulate yourself. And do you know why you are congratulating yourself? Because not many people have this kind of opportunity. We thank this organization for organizing this and giving you this great and wonderful opportunity to come and have a feel of what the university is and to start stirring you up, because secondary school is not the end of education. You still have university, you still have postgraduate studies, and many, many other ones. For those in our partner faculty, you have all the professional courses that you will have to do. So this is just the beginning, and I hope that in another few years, I hope to see all of you in the university. The first speaker who spoke talked about you planning and knowing the end from the beginning. And that is picturing yourself where you want to be. And I think it's something that you need to, if you don't take anything from here today, you should take that you have a vision of where you want to be. Because that will be the driving force. Because if you have seen yourself, I want to go to Lagos. No matter what you see on the way, hold up, traffic, everything, car getting spoiled, having punctured tires, but because you know that you want to get to Lagos, that fact that you want to get to Lagos will keep driving you all the way down to Lagos. So I bring greetings from the director of SGID, Professor Christian Happy, who is unavoidably absent, and I am the deputy director of SGID, Dr. Onikepe Folarin. I'm first of all a staff of the university, and then I am now seconded to be the deputy center director of SGID. And what is SGID? SGID is African Center of Excellence for Genomics of Infectious Diseases. African Center of Excellence for Genomics of Infectious Diseases. That is what that acronym means, SGID. And what do we do? What is our focus? What is our objectives? They are in two forms, two folds. We're concerned about education, and we're also concerned about research. For our education objectives, we want to train people like you. We want to train people like you in the area of genomics. How many of us have heard of genomics? How many of us have heard of genomics? Okay. How many of us are science students here? Let's start from there. Okay. So how many of us have heard of DNA? Okay. So when we talk about genomics, in order to bring it down to your level, we're talking about studies that deals with the DNA. And your DNA is what makes you and I, that characterizes each individual, each organism from one another. So our focus in the educational objective is to train scientists or train students like you in the field of genomics. But genomics can be in many areas. Our focus is, what we have chosen in this center is in the area of infectious diseases. And what are infectious diseases? Diseases that can be contracted from other people, that can be transferred from one person to the other. That's what infectious diseases are. And as you know, these infectious diseases are very common in our environment. And that is why we have decided to focus on that, using genomics to solve the problems of infectious diseases. So that's number one, our educational objectives. Our research objective is now to also use this genomics. There's a particular one we call metagenomics that we now want to use to identify and characterize pathogens or microorganisms that causes fever. Fever is anything that makes you uncomfortable. You start having temperature. So that is our two major objectives. And when we combine this, the educational objectives and the research objectives, when we combine it, we want to develop people that we call pathogen hunters. Now, these pathogen hunters are Africans who are solving the problem of infectious diseases within Africa. I'm sure you are all familiar with the fact that people think that everything must come from the US or from the UK. But what we want to do now is to train people like you here within this university at the SGID Center to be able to identify these pathogens and also to be able to contribute to the problems of these infectious diseases in our environment. In 2014, there was something that came up. Who can tell me? Yes. What happened? Yes, Durugo. Thank you very much. Please clap for him. I actually meant Durugo Jr. I didn't know Senior was also here. Thank you, sir. So there was an outbreak of Ebola within the country. Thank goodness that it did not spread out of Lagos too much, even though we found some portions of it in Port Harcourt. And what happened? How come it did not spread when we compare it to the situation in other countries? There was a timely detection and diagnosis of that disease. And where was it done? It was done at SGID, this center that we're talking about. So, SGID was responsible and was involved in the diagnosis and the detection of the virus in that individual who brought it into the country, and subsequent diagnosis of all the other patients who were infected. And that is the only singular thing that helped the country in containment of this disease. Because if it was not detected on time, then, as you know, there is an infectious disease, then the disease keeps spreading from one person to the other and continuously like that. And you can imagine what it is going to look like in Nigeria, where we have a 140 million population. So the spread will just be very easy and quick and fast. In other countries, the story is not the same. It killed thousands of people. But here in Nigeria, we recorded about 12 deaths. And it's basically because of our activities at the center, where we have been doing certain research in looking at these viruses and also other infectious diseases in order to be able to nip them at the bud. So how do you benefit from this center? Basically, you have to be a science student, and one of the things that's why I say that you should congratulate yourself, is that you are very fortunate to come here today, because after this program, you would be taken to the center where you will see all our state-of-the-art equipment and what we use them for and how they work. We have students that we're training, and I'm hoping and believing God that very soon you would also join them. But to start with, make sure you're excellent, which is what Dr. Fianka had said, excellent. Make sure you're excellent in your biology, in your physics, and in your chemistry. Thank you very much.